We've been recording, so let's just dive into this puppy. That sounded weird. Why did I say that?
Let's not dive into any children.
Well,
animal or human.
Okay. Thank you for the clarification. All right. Hello and welcome, everyone, to episode 79 of the GGG Podcast. I'm Paul, and joining me, as always, is my co-host, Phil. We are happy to be back after a week off, and we are getting ready for the Summer Games Fest, along with all of the other gaming news that's going to come out over this next week from all the big hitters, Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft, and big publishers and everything like that. I'm excited to get into it. We got some fantastic Witcher 4 footage this morning. I saw it on my phone at 8 a.m. and I was like, oh my God. So I was freaking out about it. We're going to talk about that for our main topic. But before we get going, if you haven't already liked and subscribed to our podcast, please do so. We really appreciate it. We're getting some more views over on the YouTube channel. So I want to applaud people watching on the YouTube channel. Appreciate that. Most of our listeners are listening to the audio only version. So always nice that you're hitting up that YouTube. We really appreciate it. All right, Phil. Are you excited to be back in the saddle? I'm raring to go.
I'm nervous whenever it comes to a new game show. You said there's going to be a lot of big hitters. Sometimes it feels more like they're big shitters. I wasted one of our curse uses early in the show, but I didn't want to miss that.
Yep. It's true. We all get amped, and then we're like, what is all this crap? And then there's one good thing that comes out of it. So
they're gonna show a Silk song. It's 100% at this point they got it. And they're like, are you guys really like Hollow Knight? Well, good news. He's coming to League of Legends. That's right, idiots.
League of Legends being the highlight of the entire Summer Games Fest, of course. Right. Mm-hmm. All right. So I've played quite a few things over these last 2 weeks. Phil, have you gotten a lot of gaming in? What do you? I know last time we did an episode, I talked about how you stopped playing Expedition 33, or at least you stopped talking about it. So where is that energy diverted to?
Well, a lot of it's been not Lethal Company, better Lethal Company.
Repo.
Repo is a great game. I played that with you and your partner. I played it with my homies. I stream it whenever I can. One of the things that I really enjoy about that game is just it's like pitch perfect comedy. But what else have I been playing? I dipped into Marvel Rivals to try out Ultron. I was so not impressed that I dipped right back out. They got to fix him, I think. And I've been playing a lot. Sorry, I'm moving things around on my computer so I can see my games.
Okay.
Playing a lot of Monster Train 2. Really, really good game. If you haven't given it a shot, it just keeps every run that I'm on. I don't know if you're familiar with Monster Train.
Yeah, I think we talked about it last episode. It's on Game Pass, right?
It's on Game Pass. Mm-hmm. I'm absolutely going nuts on it. So yeah, I probably put a good 15 hours into Monster Train because it's just a nice, easy little solo card game. Scratches that itch. Excellent.
Heck yeah. I also tried out Ultron and Marvel Rivals. I don't hate him. He doesn't seem like a big difference maker. And I think that's why a lot of the streamers and the hardcore people are saying he's garbage. I don't think he's garbage. I just think he is a secondary healer. He's not he's not Rocket, and yeah. He's okay, and that's fine. It's fine that he's not this amazing, crazy character that's going to break the game. I'm fine with that. But yeah, I've been playing some Marvel Rivals. They finally released a legendary Groot skin. I love playing as Groot, so I coughed up some cash to actually buy that. Fine, okay, I did it. But yeah, I've been playing a lot of competitive games. The competitive itch has been under my skin. I've still been playing a lot of the finals. I've been getting really good at the finals. Some amazing. I actually had a guy I was playing last night, and just a random guy was like in the chat being like, dude, you're so good. And I was like, oh, thank you. Oh my God, that never happens. Nobody's ever like nice in the game chat. you know? So it was very rare.
It's beautiful when you're running across one of those unicorns, you know?
Yeah. And then let's see what else. Yeah, I've been trying to power through Expedition 33. I'm very close to the end, and I want to finish it up so we can do our spoiler cast about it. I'm very excited about that, especially because I've gotten deep enough into the game where I'm like, what is going on? What is going on? And yeah. I think I know, but I don't. But they also speak so vaguely about what's going on that I'm like, this is at a certain point, this is your writing. That's just you're not being elusive. You're just not saying anything.
I am so interested when you find out what is like, when you get definitive what is going on.
Okay.
Because it's almost got Last of Us 2 vibes, where all of a sudden you start playing as Abby and you're like,
what?
No. But then the game pulls you back in immediately.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
All right. But yeah, and then last but not least, I have downloaded the Splitgate demo, which is one of our major game releases this week. And the reason I say it's a game release, but it's a beta, is because it's kind of in early access, where the game has launched. It is in season 0, so there's like kind of the mini battle pass, similar to how Marvel Rivals did the season 0 battle pass. And the game, I played the alpha, and I think it's come a very long way since the alpha, so I'm happy with that. But I do still feel like there's something missing in there to keep me coming back. And I feel like the portal gimmick, and not that it's a gimmick, because it does make for a lot of interesting gameplay, but
it feels secondary now.
Yeah, it feels very secondary, and like the first Splitgate that I played quite a bit, like it felt amazing, and it was all about the portals. And now it's like you can move so fast and parkour so much that I'm like, I don't know that the portals are as necessary. They're more just an optional tool that you can use. And I'm kind of like iffy on the progression, iffy on the maps. I kind of hoped that it would look a little better, to be honest. Especially like,
I mean, I think of it as the best looking Halo that we've gotten in a while.
Yeah, but that's not saying a lot.
Halo.
That's not saying a lot, because Halo Infinite looked like garbage. I was going to say the S word, but you already ruined that for us, Phil.
I took it.
You took it away. But I think just like, because I've been playing the finals, the graphics in the finals are incredible. And like going from that to, Splitgate, it's like, this is also, they're both free to play games. So, I don't know. It's solid. I would encourage people to pick it up because it is a free-to-play game. You can just download it right on Steam right now. What do you think, Phil? You've played it a little bit yourself. Are you kind of where I am, or?
Listen, it's got amazing gunplay. It feels spot on for like what a Halo-type game should feel like. But I do think that there are some issues. It doesn't feel complete, like you were saying. The portals don't feel as important. And once I got through like the first couple matches and the skill level started to get a little bit like haywire, it started to feel like very punishing very quickly.
Right.
So,
because it's very much a twitch shooter. It is, you die like that, like so fast. So
TTK is very low. I think it's a great like shooter to play, but like you said, it's almost feels like a last era game, like a last gen game in a time when generations don't exist as much anymore.
Right.
As much as they are like, okay, this game was built in Unreal 5 and like by people who know how to use it, which we will talk about more, but like Claire Obscure Expedition 33 is an Unreal 5 game, and their art style is really, really interesting, and their character models are great. And like you were saying, the Finals is a beautiful game with like really cool abstract stuff and photorealistic looking models. So it's just kind of weird to see that happen. Granted, I don't know. There's so much going on with that game that it's tough to say, but
I'm
glad it's free.
It looks like a PS4 game. Like,
Mhm.
let's be honest. It looks like a PS4 game. It's like I crank up the resolution. It doesn't seem to make a difference. It runs well. It loads fast. So that's cool.
Yeah.
When I first started it, I definitely had trouble matchmaking. So the servers did
Yeah.
take a while to get going. I've played it a couple days ago and it was a lot better. So that's good. So I think people just hadn't heard about it because they kind of had a weak press release. Like I get advertised game stuff all the time and it didn't really get to me. I just kind of stumbled across it on my own. So,
Yeah.
so yeah.
Well, at this point, like Marvel Rivals is the undisputed king of matchmaking. Like it just
Yes.
you
Oh
click
my
the thing
God.
and it's like, bing, you're in a match. Okay, great.
Exactly. Exactly. All right. Well, let's talk about our other game release this week. Something that's been dominating the gamerverse. Elden Ring Nightreign has finally released. I have several close friends who have played this game a lot. I have not personally played this game yet. I might because it is cooperative. I'm not a big Souls-like guy. I'm not a big Elden Ring guy. I know that sets me apart with how a lot of people feel about those games. But I know a lot of people played it. I've watched my friends play it over like Discord stream and whatnot. And I've heard a lot of reviews have it sitting like around an 8 out of 10, sitting around an 80. And I think that seems to be the appropriate vibe. The clear problems with it are there's no in-game communication at all. I mean, you can ping, I believe, is the extent of what you can do. But that's rough because that means...
And when you're matchmaking, that's like death.
Yeah, and also it's like I feel like you need to communicate where you need to go because you're on the clock when you're playing that game because it is a roguelike game and you go by day by day and everything like that. So I feel like that's kind of rough if you're just hoping that you'll play with some randoms that you'll be successful with, which, maybe you will, but I feel like it's one of those games you really have to rope a couple friends into playing with you. And if they're not available to play, what progress are you realistically going to be able to make? And the big thing being the game does not scale at all. It is built for 3 people. So if you're playing solo, tough. You still have the same difficulty as if you had 2 other people with you. If you're playing with 2 people, same thing. That doesn't make any sense to me. That there needs to be like some sort of scaling update where you need to have like, it's okay to have duos. It's okay to play by yourself or something like that. And that just doesn't seem to be there. So
I think that is kind of when it comes to the Elden Ring, the From Software team, I guess specifically the Elden Ring team, because like that game is balanced very well for playing solo or having a couple friends hop in and help you because you're not reset every time. Sure, you can lose souls, but you're still making progress over time. This doesn't seem to work that well with the balance because you lose everything, and if it's just you by yourself, it's not even worth playing a lot of the times, unless you're like one of those people who is refusing to quit.
let me solo her.
Yeah, if you're let me solo her, this game is probably still too strong, still too hard for you.
Wow.
But yeah, it is a weird thing because I feel like a lot of people feed off the hype of Elden Ring, are very excited about this game, and I feel like that has made a sort of tepid response from a lot of the people that I've been hearing about it from that. Like, it's good, but it's got issues. And with an experience like Elden Ring, you want to be able to fully just like set it and go because the game is stopping you from playing it so much itself that you don't want an external source that is like just a circumstance that stops you from playing the game on top of that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I feel that. All right. Well, let's get into our episode. So there are a ton of demos that have come out over the last 2 weeks, and we're going to break down some of our favorites. A lot of these, Phil, you've added to the list, so I'm going to let you do some demo domination and break it down for us right now.
Let's talk about Hell Is Us.
Okay.
This game, I feel like kind of I think it was the Game Awards where they first showed a trailer for it. It looks Unreal 5 graphics, so very, very visually stunning, and it seemed to be like a dark, gritty like game about emotions and this person like unraveling their past while living in this sort of horror show like apocalypse. But then some big enemy is in front of the character and he whips out like a light sword and starts fighting it and doing really cool flips and generally beating some demon tail.
Yeah.
So it is definitely my type of game. Like I love a third person action game. I love a protagonist with a sword and a cape, and this person has like a big old hoodie tarp that can double as a cape. So very into it. Excited to see. Really just excited to get my hands on it. I believe the demo became available on Friday, so there's probably some word out there about that. But Hell Is Us. Have you watched the trailer, Paul?
I have.
Got any ideas, thoughts about it?
Yeah, I mean, the first thing is it really strikes me is the aesthetically between like Intergalactic, the new Naughty Dog game, and the Kojima game, the Death Stranding.
Yeah.
It felt like somewhere in between those two things. To be honest, not really my genre, but it looks really interesting. And here's the thing. I love free stuff. So if you're going to put a demo out there like the good old days where you could actually try it before you buy it, I'm down. So I'm probably going to give this a download. I've cleared some space on my hard drive recently, so I'm going to try this out. And I'm going to probably try out all of these demos, to be honest. Yeah. So
next, Dead as Disco. This is a beat 'em up game. I will tell you about how I heard about this game. I was scrolling through TikTok and I saw some gameplay footage of it. And when that happens and I'm interested enough to go like research the game, it's usually because it's something special. Dead as Disco, I wrote down a little blurb for it. Think Arkham Knight Combat, but as a rhythm game. So you are on like a big dance floor. There's people attacking you.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I've seen this game. I have seen this game. Yes. Okay. Wow. Yes.
It looks so fun. Like just the type of thing that I feel like a demo is perfect for this to let you get a feel for it.
Yeah.
Something along the lines of like Beat Sabers, but you're actually just beating up dudes on a dance floor. I don't know what else there is to say about it other than I'm going to play probably 100 hours of the demo.
Yeah, I have seen clips of this, and I had no idea what game it was, and I loved it. It kind of reminded me aesthetically of like Sifu. I know that the company who made Sifu like did the soccer game recently that came out, or the football game that came out.
I think actually it's still coming out, that game. It's like the 3-on-3 one.
Yeah. I thought I had seen like streamers playing it, so for whatever reason I thought that it had come out already. But maybe it's like in beta. Yeah, probably something like that. Exactly. But yeah, I loved what I saw from that, so I would love to give that a try. That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
What's next on the demo list?
Next in the demo list, like honestly, I opened up Steam today and it felt like a treasure trove slapped me in the face. Dispatch, the Telltale superhero office game. With a pretty well-rounded voice cast, including both of our friends, Mayana Baron, who I'm excited to see her contribution.
I believe she's playing one of the heroes that you dispatch.
Amazing.
Yeah.
You kill her? I'm not playing now.
I don't know.
So in this game, you are the sort of origin of the character, and the character is Jesse Pinkman. Why can't I think of the actor's name?
Aaron Paul.
Nice. There we go.
I wonder how
Aaron Paul. You're like you found it first. Aaron Paul is playing a character who used to be like an Iron Man. He like went around in a mech suit. It was a suit I think inherited from his father. The suit got destroyed, but he was still kind of a part of the superhero game. Didn't know what to do with his life, and got recruited by this office of dispatchers who send superheroes to fight villains that they are well suited to fight. They handle emergencies, all that stuff. So it is a Telltale game in that you're not going to be doing a lot of action, but you are mostly going to be like making decisions. And Paul, this game looks gorgeous.
It does.
It's got this Yeah, like the normal Telltale art style was cool in its time, but this seems like the next evolution in a way that
Finally,
is,
they needed to do this. They needed to do this, and I think this is the perfect because it's still stylized, but it looks incredible. It looks fantastic. Really does.
Very exciting because it's also not attached to another IP, so it's just like
they
this
can do
brand
their
new
own thing. Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, that's all. Those are all available. And Paul, I'm gonna let you handle this next one because you actually played a bit of it.
I did. I'm so excited. Oh my god!
Tell us about Jump Ship.
So much energy today. The Jump Ship demo. Jump Ship is a game we've talked about on the pod almost a year ago now, I want to say, and then I've brought it up periodically with some little announcements. The demo is actually supposed to come out next week, but for whatever reason, the demo is live on Steam right now, and you can download it. It's called Jump Ship. For those long listeners out there that have heard me talk about the game Void Crew, it's very similar to Void Crew, except it's better than Void Crew in every single way imaginable. So it is so up my alley. It's crazy. So essentially, it's a 4-person, mission, runner. I don't know what to call that game type. But kind of you're running a spaceship, and people can, either you can pilot, you can be on the guns, you can be repairing the ship. But the difference from this game and Void Crew is you actually have like guns, and you do like fighting. Like everybody can get off of the ship, and you can be like, all right, we need to go raid this base. Everybody, suit up, and we're going to raid the base, and we can have the ship on autopilot or have our robot buddy, guard things. And so there's a lot more things that have been automated that make a lot of sense when you're on a spaceship, as opposed to in Void Crew, where it's like, well, we have to manually turn this thing and manually turn that thing. And I understand why they did that in Void Crew for gameplay purposes, to give you something to do. But in this game, it just feels more streamlined and smooth. Just to give you like a small example, in Void Crew, you have an airlock, and you have to open the door to the airlock. You have to step into the airlock. You have to put on a spacesuit. You have to drain all the air out of the airlock. Then you have to open the outside door in order to get out of the ship. In Jump Ship, you press a button, you walk into the airlock, you press another button, you leave. That's
cool.
Yes,
that's nice.
And it's like you're just always wearing a spaceship or a spacesuit. Excuse me.
Well, it kind of is a spaceship if you think about it.
Yeah, and you do, and also everybody has like a jetpack. So if you're in 0G in space, you can just like zoom around, and everybody also has a grapple hook. So there's everything you can grapple to, which is fantastic. And most notably, I have to say that the gunplay is very good. Very good gunplay. It feels really solid. It feels like a legitimate first-person shooter, how that gameplay should feel. So I'm going to try and get all of my friends on this game, and you guys should check it out too. So install Jump Ship, get it going, because it's a lot of fun. And like even just the piloting the ship feels cool. The ship design feels cool. It's just good. It's just freaking good. It's a good game.
It's everything that the Bethesda game wasn't. Why can't I think
Starfield.
of it? I can't even. Yeah, I forgot its name because it left that big of an impression on me.
My god! You know what? Because you brought that up, I'm gonna throw in an extra little news story.
Ooh, uh-oh.
So,
oh no,
because the last episode we talked about how Battlefront 3, people have been calling for Battlefront 3, but recently this last week, a collection of mods have been assembled into one big modded version of Starfield, and it's called Star Wars Genesis, and it is Starfield, but everything Star Wars is in it. And so you can play through the Starfield story, but like they change certain characters. So if you go down and you do like the Rangers storyline, which I forget the name of them, the head of the Rangers is Admiral Akbar instead of, what he usually is. But it's like all stormtroopers everywhere, lightsabers, blasters. You can be a Mandalorian, Wookiees and droids and it looks really cool.
So into that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like I've seen like bowcasters, like Chewie's weapon and whatnot. So very, very cool. If you still have Starfield installed, I don't know why you would, but just in case. All right.
Okay, cool.
Cool. What's first up in the news now that we're 20 minutes into the episode?
Well, I mean, I was just thinking about this, and this is not the news, but it's Games Week. It's Summer Games Week of games. Jeff Keighley is gonna pound his way into your house and shoot you in the face with gaming news. But I wonder if that has to do with all these demo releases, especially some of the bigger ones, if they are going to be showcased and then, hey, if you want, you can play this right now. But first news story, let's talk about it.
Let's do it.
Nintendo Switch says don't remove the film on the Switch 2. Why?
What? Okay.
Let me remove the film.
Here's the question, Nintendo. Why is it possible to remove the film on your Switch 2 if you don't want us to remove it?
Yeah.
Why can you do that? Why isn't there just some built-in
shatterproof glass? That's what they're saying. Like, oh, if the film is shatterproof. I don't trust that. Second of all, if it gives me a glare, that sucker is coming off faster than my clothes as soon as I get home from work.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm living the nude.
I'm glad you didn't work today.
Yeah, I did, but I put on a shirt for the podcast.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Don't let me stand up. Don't let me stand up.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, this is silly, right? This is silly.
It feels like a dumb thing that they have to issue an official warning, and like you have to know that the majority of your market that's going to get these are kids, and kids. I don't know if you know, Phil, about kids. Have you heard of kids before?
They're like people, but they have no souls, right?
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah,
and they love to pick at things. Not pick it, but pick at.
I wish they loved to pick at things. We'd have a much better society if a bunch of children were out there fighting for our rights.
Yes, exactly. But yeah, they love to pick. They love to peel. Like, you can't just leave like plastic on like a brand new TV without a kid running by and ripping it off. And be honest,
and then eating it.
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah, I do that too. To be honest, not the eating part, but. Yeah, so I don't know why it just isn't constructed in a way where you can't take the film off. And you're absolutely right. If there is glare, that's going to be staggeringly annoying. And they also attached another statement to that statement saying that you can buy an additional film screen just in case it breaks anyway. And so it's just like, how many plastic layers are we wrapping around this thing?
Okay.
Yeah, I thought of a condom joke and I backed off of it. So I don't know if that's where you were going.
No. There's some other stuff in the IGN article listed.
Okay.
The IGN article by Tom Phillips. Other Switch tips provided by Nintendo include warnings not to use Switch 2 in dusty or smoky areas. So no taking out clubs or to old bookshops. Make sure to charge the built-in batteries at least once every 6 months. If the batteries are not used for an extended period of time, it may become impossible to charge them. What?
What the frick? Like,
yeah.
Don't have them in a smoky environment? You know that your other market is stoners, right?
Stoners, yeah.
Like,
that's the only people who be playing Mario Kart.
Who are they selling this to? I mean, I'm sure they're going to sell, but like, it sounds like there's going to be a lot of problems at launch with this thing. I don't know.
Yeah. Listen, I am going to try to get one from Costco day one, which is in a couple of days. I'm going to give it a shot.
All right.
For the pod, and not for me to play Mario Kart and regret this purchase.
Sure.
But yeah, this is a pretty wild thing. Nintendo has been off of their game. Hopefully the Switch 2 just absolutely bangs super hard and is like an impressive tech piece of equipment. But we'll see. Yeah. I've been burnt by Nintendo. Well, actually, I've barely burnt by Nintendo. So
let's hope it bangs super hard.
Let's hope it bangs super hard. What I'm counting this up to is it might just be Nintendo weirdness, like making the Switch game carts taste bad. Like, we'll see.
Okay. All right. Next up on the news, we'll talk more about the Switch when you have your hands on one. Next up on the news, unfortunate news, not a lot to talk about here, but EA has officially canceled their Black Panther game. Just to clarify here, this is not Marvel 1943. This is its own Black Panther game. So, and much to Phil's chagrin, apparently this game was going to incorporate, I don't know, it probably couldn't incorporate the exact Nemesis system from Warner Brothers, but a version of the Nemesis system that we've seen in the Lord of the Rings, Shadow of War, and Shadow of Mordor games.
I'm glad that I used my cuss word earlier because I was ready to unleash a string of expletives so far that it could be seen from space. These absolute crumb bum dingleberries. First of all, someone else release a Nemesis system. Just call it the Buddy system, and then make it slightly different. Warner Brothers is going to sue you. They've got their heads so far up their patoot that they can't get rid of David Zaslav. Second of all, Black Panther game sounded cool.
Yeah, it would have been cool. I love all of these curse word substitutes. These are fantastic.
I think a Black Panther game would have felt really cool and would have filled in the gap that like an Arkham game or a Batman game could have played. Because in effect, Black Panther would play almost directly like Batman. Like he's got a lot of stealth. Mm-hmm. He's fighting a lot of like people who are trying to come and take his land, other supervillains, and he's got like so many cool movement abilities. And the combat, if it's fast and frenetic, would be incredible. Real big bummer, but EA is EA, so.
Okay. All right. Last up on the news, we hinted at this earlier, but there's a state of play for Sony happening tomorrow, June 4th. We're recording on the 3rd right now. And then I believe there is an Xbox showcase on June 8th. And then the Summer Games Fest kicks off on June 9th. So we're going to be rolling in game announcements. Phil and I have talked about it. I think we are going to try to do a full Summer Games Fest recap recorded on Sunday, and I might be able to get that out to you guys that day, maybe Monday. But I wanted to kind of let our imaginations run wild a little bit before all the announcements come rolling on in and see if we have any predictions for all of these announcements, especially for like the big publishers and whatnot. Or let's just go, what do you think is going to be at Sony's? What do you think is going to be at Microsoft's? And what do you think is going to be like at the main Geoff Keighley Summer Games Fest big stage announcement thing? You got any? Do you want to start? You want me to start?
You know what? I'm gonna start. Pitch it out there. Yeah. Xbox Game Showcase. Silk Song available on Game Pass right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, they need to. Otherwise, they don't need to. Game Pass is amazing. I don't know what I'm saying. They should.
They should. I mean, Game Pass is loaded right now. We've talked about it. So yeah, I could see that. For Xbox, let's just start there since you got the ball rolling with them. I'm guessing there's going to be a lot of Gears of War stuff here. I think we're going to get. It's possible we could see a trailer for Gears of War on PlayStation at Xbox's conference.
Oh no. That'd be so sad.
Or the other way around. I think Gears of War, the remake one that they're doing, is going to be on some sort of main stage. And then there is a new Gears of War game, and by new I mean old, but new. You know what I mean? So I think that's going to be the big headliner for Xbox this year. And it feels weird saying that because Gears of War has been a part of Xbox for so many years now, since I was a kid, really, that they're still hitting on this game. But unless they're announcing something new. Oh, I did want to say, I think they have confirmed this, so this isn't really a prediction, but The Outer Worlds 2, who our friend Austin Merritt is working on probably right now, is going to be at their showcase.
Okay, very
That
cool.
is a for sure lock in. Outer Worlds 2 is going to be there and probably going to be on Game Pass. What do you think, Phil? Is that
Mm,
going to be a Game Pass game?
that's gonna be a Game Pass game. I
Yeah,
mean, Xbox acquired the studio, and they're just trying to get as many people on Game Pass as possible.
yeah,
Absolutely.
sure. Okay. All right.
Okay, solid. Do we want to do any other ones from Microsoft? Because I don't.
Fable.
What?
Fable.
Oh yeah. That's a great one. Okay,
Yeah.
take it and run.
Fable. I think Fable's going to be there. I still don't think we're going to get a release date, but I think we might get some more gameplay.
Gameplay.
Yeah. So I think it'll be kind of a vague Fable showing where we don't know when it's coming out. We don't know if this is what the game is actually going to look like, but this is a running tech demo of Fable as it is right now. So, yeah, those are my big
Okay.
three: Outer Worlds, Gears of War, Fable. It feels like we're back in the 2010s. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. I think they're gonna show us some cool indies. Concerned Ape has been showing up for a little while. I think this is a pretty particular one, but I think they're going to announce Haunted Chocolatier will be day one on Game Pass.
you think so?
Yeah, I mean, who knows? That would be pretty crazy, and I feel like it would be. But that guy does just want as many people as possible to play his games, it seems like, and that would be an easy window into doing that. That said, who knows if that game is anywhere near ready? It's just something that I would like to see.
Yeah, I don't know if it's ready yet, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I know my partner would be ecstatic because she is a Stardew lover to no end. So,
Yeah. No, and listen, rightfully so. I don't know what else like Xbox has to show for itself other than being like, yo, Halo coming to PlayStation. Suck it. And just be like, Halo Infinite is on PS Plus right now. Go play. Yeah.
yeah, I think you it's a half joke. It's a half joke. So yeah, all right. Well, let's move on to Sony. So I think the obvious one here is Ghost of Yotei. Like I told you about this before we started recording, Phil, but I saw that the new Ghost game was actually available for pre-orders on the PlayStation Store today,
Yeah.
as well as the digital deluxe edition coming out October 1st this year. You know, I also saw like Grand Theft Auto. You can Grand Theft Auto 6. You can pre-order it. It's got its actual title thing. And it's like when that happens, when it goes up on the store like that, that tells me that they have a set launch and that they're
Yeah.
ready to go. So I feel like we are going to get some like a little gameplay showcase of the new Ghost game, and I'm very excited for that. I think it's, you know, if they do things right, I think it really could be a Game of the Year contender because Ghost
Yeah.
of Tsushima was so good. And I think it was nominated for Game of the Year, but there still were some problems with Ghost of Tsushima. I think that kept it from getting to that masterpiece level. So we'll see if this next Ghost game can do it. I always live by the mantra that the second game of a game series is usually the best because they have
Yeah.
the foundation sorted out and now they can expand on top of that. And then this one, I think this one's a little bit more outlandish, but I think we might see some actual, not leaked, fully approved Wolverine footage. What do you think?
That's 100% in my wish list of things to see. There's been a lot of like buzz around that lately, so it would be really really cool to see. I am also still hoping that a lot of their plans got leaked, and a lot of those plans have now been dashed because of the leak setbacks and sort of their planning around the Spider-Man series of games. But I would love, along those lines, if they announced the sort of like Venom version, Miles Morales to Spider-Man 1, the Venom incarnation of those games, which allegedly was going to be a thing, or just any news about that. But I think, Wolverine gameplay, and then for them to be like, also, here's Venom swinging through the city, curtains out for Insomniac. Maybe maybe we will see a little something from Santa Monica Studios. That is like my pie in the sky.
I think it's too soon, my man.
I don't know. We'll see.
But you got those inside sources,
Listen, I have very little actual information to go off of, but I just think that they are they picked up at kind of a pace from 1 to 2, or God of War 1 to Ragnarok, I guess 2018 to Ragnarok. Anywho, seeing whatever they have would be really, really cool. But Sony is also not one to play their cards like that. So I'm guessing we're going to see a lot of PS Plus stuff.
Yeah.
Ghost of Yotei and maybe Wolverine is my most likely scenario.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Pie in the sky, Sony. Give me a Killzone game. Not gonna happen because they're all deep in Horizon now. But you gave me Killzone content in Helldivers, and you gave a lot of it away for free, by the way. So it's like I want a Sony first person shooter back. I want I would love Resistance as well, but that we were going all the way back to PS3 with that. So.
Man, Resistance would be so cool. That was Insomniac also, by the way.
Yes.
That would be a cool pickup for them, but sadly it didn't seem like that's in their plans because we saw all of their stuff leaked.
Yeah. All right. Well, are there any we talked about the Microsoft and Sony. Are there any other big game announcements for the Summer Games Fest? I think there's probably going to be a lot of new things that we haven't heard of. That are probably going to be announced. So I kind of want to just go ahead and move into the main topic. What do you?
Do we think Nintendo is going to say anything? Like if they might have a last minute treehouse, or are they just going to be like, "We gave you the Switch 2, shut up"?
Yeah.
What do you think?
The what you just said.
Yeah, that's
the latter.
Nintendo showing will just be flipping us the bird and be like, "What do you want? You got Mario Kart."
Yeah, you got Mario Kart. Is Donkey Kong is not a launch title, right? It's coming out September.
No.
Yeah.
I think it's September or July. It's a little ways out, which is silly to me, but whatever.
Okay. All right. Well, then let's move into the main topic, which of course is the Witcher 4 tech demo that came out this morning. I am so jazzed about it. It is what started my day off to an amazing day today. And first of all, just to get this out of the way, The Witcher 3 is my favorite RPG of all time. So to say that I'm excited is an insane understatement. I loved The Witcher 3 when it came out. I thought that narratively, it did things that games had never done before. Graphically, it looked better than any other open world game that I had ever seen before. This is back in 2015. This is 10 years ago. And combat wise, it was amazing. It was difficult, but it came a long way from the previous Witcher games, 1 and 2 especially. So seeing everything in the tech demo, the game looks so freaking good. And one of the things that I love that they said right off the bat was this is running on a regular PS5, not a PlayStation Pro, not a 4080 RTX burger. No, this is running on a PlayStation 5, and we figured out how to make games look good again. Just like other companies used to do back when that was a priority. We problem solved and we figured out how to make trees that look like trees.
They said this is running on a base PS5. It's got 60 FPS and ray tracing. And someone over at Sony was like, "Oh, come on, man! What the hell?" Someone at Sony's like, "Come on, we offered you a Pro to show it off." No. We all have a PS5. Nobody's buying the Pro. Just make games for the PS5.
Yes, please. I think it looks incredible. How do you feel about it, Phil?
I think it looks incredible as well. But I will say, okay, so I want to be kind of the tempered side of this argument because I'm very excited about it. I started playing Witcher games with Witcher 2, and such a good looking game. And then Witcher 3 came out. Such a good looking game. Incredible. So much depth.
Yes.
But
Yes.
it looks so good, and it wouldn't be the first time that CD Projekt Red has promised us something that doesn't quite live up to it. And you know what else my PlayStation 5 can run? Netflix, which shows me what is it, Love, Death, and Robots, and that looks incredible because
It's a
a
video
very
game.
like obviously this was a pretty pre-rendered like cutscene because they zoomed in on the horse, you see the muscles, like this was a lot of
Yeah.
this was a presentation.
Yeah. It
Um,
is a tech demo, like no doubt.
it's a
Yeah.
tech demo, yeah, but uh, I don't think the game's final project or final product will look like that. I think it will look closer to that than we would see, like, currently. But I don't think that is going to be the final product of the game. I think it's going to be slightly downgraded from that. And that's fine because they're showing us what they want to do. And not everything they want to do is going to be able to happen. But they're still going to make us a bomb video game.
Yeah, right. Yeah, yeah. Fine. 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 There might be a sliver of truth in that, Phil. There might be. There might be. But I will say, I watched a crap ton of Witcher 3 trailers in anticipation for The Witcher 3 to come out. And the graphics did look better in the trailers than when the actual game came out, but it wasn't very far off. And
Well,
yes,
it's pretty close.
yeah, I know Cyberpunk was a huge fustercluck of a launch and everything like that, but The Witcher, they are building on a system that they are familiar with. They're building it on Unreal 5. It's not their own engine. They're building on an engine they know works and works together with their systems. So I did, the most impressive thing to me was not like the horse muscles or anything. It was just when Ciri was walking down this like village street and like seeing the reactions of villagers and also seeing her animations and her respond to the world around her. And it's, again, you do speak some truth. Is it going to look exactly like that? Probably not. But it reminded me of the Uncharted games. It reminded me of Naughty Dog, of how, Nathan Drake, when you're up against a wall, he puts his hands up against a wall. He reacts to the environment around him. And he's not just this freaking avatar. He is this fully embodied character in this world. And it helps me buy in to this world and having it be more alive instead of examining it as a reviewer being like, well, how does this avatar move? And I feel like there's a lot of games that come out right now where I feel like it's just like, well, they made an avatar and here's the map and I move the avatar around the map. Mm-hmm. And that's what it feels like. And to me, this felt so alive. It felt rich with personality. Even just seeing the tech demo of like how they designed their spruce trees, of just like, these are 12 different tree parts. And we generate them so that trees can be generated with all these different parts. And you can get all these different variations. And they all look different and amazing. And
It looks as close to like voxel tech as we've seen.
Yeah. Like the pixelization of things when you're further out, it's like, that's a great way to handle, because you don't need to render that stuff if it's so far out. That's a great way to handle it, and it still looks great at a distance. So I'm a bit of a graphics slut. I know that. But
Same.
I personally have been longing for a game this generation that has looked like a next generation game. And this looks to be the game for me. Like, there's lots of games that have looked good. Like Spider-Man 2 looks good, but it's still kind of stylized in like a semi-comic cartoony thing.
It has moments where you feel like, okay, this is when Miles gets knocked by the Sandman.
Yeah.
And you get like really fast rendering of like across the city. That feels next gen. But the systems itself the graphics themselves don't look like, well, this couldn't have been done before.
Yeah.
Ghost of Tsushima had just come out and looked incredible because of its style. It's a
PS4 game. Ghost of Tsushima is a PS4 game. Even God of War Ragnarok. You could tell God of War Ragnarok, it did look better than God of War, but it's the
2018,
same,
but it was still
it's the same engine. It was the same engine. So it's like, this is like a noticeable jump. And I'm really happy to see that I don't have to shell out $1,500 on a graphics card in order to make that happen. So
yeah,
that's my spiel.
I am very excited for the concepts they show. They kind of did this really cool thing where they take the perspective away from Siri, and you like go follow. You see different like NPCs, and as you load into the area, they load in and they start like interacting with each other, and even down to the level where like the fishmonger like picked up a fish out of his display and handed it to a guy and he put it in his bucket, and then it wasn't at the display anymore. One thing that I like, I'm such a little d-bag about is in games I hate it when like clothes clip through things.
Yes,
and I like flowy character, and they said like they did the pixels so that the coat that she's wearing won't like clip through the horse, won't do this, won't do that. The sequence that reminded me most of like a big awe moment was when I saw the first trailer for Assassin's Creed, and he's like moving his way through the crowd and it just looked really full, and he's like doing the Nathan Drake thing of touching people. It seems like they took that to the next level where she bumps a guy with apples, and all of a sudden like you see this kid run up and take one of the apples, and as she keeps going you see some pigs running towards where the apples had dropped, and it was this whole like sort of spanning mini story that came out of bumping this guy.
Yeah.
And when it comes to CD Projekt Red, I think they have the attention to detail. They've never done anything on that scale before, but you can see the behaviors in their other games and how they advance their attention to detail. That I think this will be, if it is everything that they are trying to do, will be a monumental leap. It'll be this and Grand Theft Auto 6 that people look at in terms of like next gen games. And it is a next gen leap that has come late in the generation of next gen.
Right. But I mean, I do think that we see a lot of the generations. We don't really get like the best games of that generation until several years into that generation being released.
Yeah.
I was just talking about the Uncharted series. Uncharted 1, looks the worst, but Uncharted 2 and 3 came out on the PlayStation 3, just like Uncharted 1 did. So it's, yeah. Anyway. I am stoked to the max about it. I am so freaking excited, and I hope we see a little bit more of The Witcher 4 at Summer Games Fest. I would love that. I absolutely love it. So, okay, I'm coming down off my video game talk high. How are you feeling? How are you feeling?
Man, I'm just listen. As soon as I close this podcast, I'm going to download all those demos and play.
Good.
So
good. I think Dead as Disco is going to be my first download, but then maybe Dispatch, and then Hell is Us is probably last on the list. But yeah, definitely download Jump Ship because we can play that together. So
yeah, that's going to be. I think Dead as Disco, since it's offline, I will download that and start playing, and then just set the other ones to download. So Jump Ship will probably be next, and then Hell is Us is the least priority, but it's still up there. So
yeah, oh my god, such a good week. So it's gonna be an exciting time, guys. But we got to wrap it up there. We are over time, and we're gonna have so much more to talk about. Hopefully, like I said, we'll be able to post another episode on Sunday when Summer Games Fest is kind of wrapping up. We'll see about that, and we could talk about all of the exciting things or disappointing things that we did or did not see at the festival. So any little last tidbits before we wrap it up, Phil? Any more little thoughts?
Anthem 2 will be announced at Summer Games Fest via Jeff Keighley wearing
there it is.
a Jaeger or whatever they're called.
Yeah. I don't know what they're called either. But sure, Jaeger, Iron Man suit, whatever. Yeah, I'd love that. I'd love that. But not, EA will probably announce it and then cancel it in the same day. So
like, we're working on a Nemesis system and like a cool evolving loot system and a partner Pokemon system, and then they'll destroy it.
And it'll be like, next up is what are EA games aside from the sports games anymore? It's like the Star Wars game that
they're not FIFA anymore.
Yeah, well, aren't they FC? That's not EA, is it?
I don't even.
Football Club, whatever. It's just a different name.
It's impossible to tell.
Whatever.
Need for Speed.
Sure. Yeah. Need for Speed. That big seller. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for episode 79 of the GGG Podcast. If you haven't already liked and subscribed to our podcast on YouTube, please do so. And if you're listening to the audio-only version on Spotify or Apple Podcast, follow us over there as well. We would appreciate it. We got lots of gaming news coming in. We want to keep it rolling. And if you're watching us over on YouTube, put a comment in. We will respond to it on the next episode. All right? We will.
Yeah. Tell us what you think is going to happen at Summer Games Fest. And why we're wrong.
Yes, please tell us why we're wrong, because Phil will fight me, but he won't really fight me, and we want to get in some verbal fist fights. Yeah,
I will find whoever makes the comment
and send them a gift basket, a fruit basket, a something basket. No, not a something, a fruit. We're going to go with fruit. Okay, we're wrapping it up there. Goodbye, everybody. Peace.
Peace.